I was born in Beijing, in China. I was in Peking University for 9 years, and during that time I met my wife, Qi, and we came to the United States together. We had 2 daughters, Joyce and Sarah. We really realized that our home is here, and our career is here, our kids are here. So that was the time we decided to become American citizens. It was May 21, 2015. And early in the morning, I was woken up by this very, very loud knocks on my door. It was very urgent, very loud, like bang, 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 like that. And so I was wondering who would knock people's door like that. And so I quickly put on shorts and opened the door. And I saw many people outside, and some had weapons, and 2 guys had a battering ram ready to take down my door. And then this FBI agent asked, "Are you Xia Xingxi?" I said, "Yes." And then he announced that I was arrested. Of course, at that point, I understand it was not a mistaken identity. They were here for me. Another agent stepped into the house, turned me around, put the handcuffs on me. Armed agent in bulletproof vest ran into the house yelling, "FBI, FBI." My wife was opening her bedroom door. The FBI agent pointed a gun at her and said, "Hands up." And then they got Sarah and then Joyce. So they all came out at gunpoint and with hands raised.
The United States Justice Department is saying that the chairman of the Temple University Department of Physics is an international spy, passing off technology secrets to China.
This world-renowned physicist now faces 4 counts of wire fraud. He faces a maximum sentence of 80 years in prison if convicted.
It's just all my life flashed in front of my eyes. I didn't know what's going to happen next. They interrogated me for 2 hours. He seems to be familiar with many, many of my emails. It gave me the impression that he must have read all my emails. They asked me to just take off all my clothes and bend over so they can check whether I hid anything in my body. Eventually, they told me that I was arrested for having made a pocket heater for my collaborators in China. My immediate word came out of my mouth is that's absurd. I have never shared the pocket information with anybody in China. In the indictment, they cited 4 emails. Of course, none of the 4 emails talked about the pocket heater. You realize that the government can twist everything from their surveillance to make up some charges against us. 2 weeks after my arrest, my daughter had a mitzvah of a friend in New York City. Normally, I would be the person who drive. There were conditions for the bail that I could not travel outside of the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. At that time, my wife couldn't sleep well, she couldn't eat much, and she was in a very bad situation. But she took Sarah. So it was very tough. It was very tough. Sorry.
After months of investigation, after losing his position as chair of the physics department, after the emotional trauma that he and all his family endured, it turns out the technology that the government thought Professor Xi was sharing with China wasn't the right technology to begin with. All of the charges against him were dropped.
If there is crime, right, if there is economic espionage, we all support that the government should, catch these people and they have to pay for what they did. But they cannot just charge people without base. When you don't have your privacy, it's just like feeling forced to walk around naked. Everything we say, everything we write, the government knows about it. If there was no good reason that they started to listen to my private communications, they could decide to do this to any American. And that's not right. And we don't want to see that happen to other Americans, or for that matter, to any people.